Hello friends, myself Dr. B.V. Pawar, Assistant Professor in Department of Chemistry, Berkeley Education Society's Arts, Commerce, Science College, Jawahar District, Palkar. In continuation about molecular orbital theory for heteronuclear diatomic molecules and polyatomic species, in last video lecture we saw that how molecular orbitals are formed from the atomic orbitals. Now again we will revise some part of that video lecture and then we will discuss the today's video lecture or today's new topic. So for formation of molecular orbitals, as I said yesterday, if I have two atoms, let's say, and these two atoms having different orbitals, right? For example, A atom having different orbital, B atom having different orbital depending upon their atomic number or their type. So we have S orbital, P orbital, D orbital, and therefore to understand the formation of molecular orbital, what is required? So yesterday we saw three important features which are required. Among three, one is that symmetry of molecular orbital. That means only those atomic orbital will combine when they are having the same energy, same symmetry. Right? So here for A type of diagram, or in this picture you can see there are different combination of atomic orbital like A, B, C, D, E. Now here for A combination you can see that 1s orbital of one atom combines with 1s orbital of another atom by addition way. So there is formation of a bonding molecular orbital. According to LCO approach, I told you that only LCO means what? Linear combination of atomic orbital, and that particular principle focus on the symmetry as well as energy of the atomic orbital. So whatever the number of atomic orbital combine, same number of molecular orbitals formed. So here two atomic orbital, that is one S, another is S. If both orbital combines by addition way, there is formation of a sigma bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so this is simply by addition. In second combination you can see same atomic orbital, that is of S, but now they are combined by subtraction way. So combination is by subtraction. So when they combine by subtraction manner, they will get form a antibonding molecular orbital, that is a sigma star S. Everybody understood? So two new molecular orbitals are formed. One is sigma S, another is sigma star S, and that is obtained from what? Combination of two S orbital. Now if you see third combination, that is two pz orbital, because in modern concept z orbital is z axis is considered as a internuclear axis, and therefore pz orbital when combines with another pz orbital by addition manner, again there is formation of a bonding sigma bonding pz orbital. But when both pz orbital get subtracted, that means when they combine by subtraction manner, they will form a sigma star pz orbital, that is called as antibonding molecular orbital. In E and F combination, there you can observe that px or py, these two atomic orbitals overlap laterally because they are vertical, or they are when they combine laterally or sidewise manner, so that overlap is minimum actually. But again, when these two orbitals combine by addition way, for example px or pz, they form a pi molecular orbital. So among that, one is a pi bonding molecular orbital which is of px, another is of py. But when same atomic orbital when gets subtracted from one another, then there is formation of pi star px or pi star py antibonding molecular orbital. So this is how we got different molecular orbitals when different atomic orbital combines, like sigma s, sigma star s, then sigma pz, sigma star pz, pi px or pi py, as well as pi star px, pi star py. So all these are called as a molecular orbital. Okay, so that combination you have to keep in mind. Now this combination can also be given in a tabular form. As I said earlier, if I have, let's say, two atoms, A atom and B atom. Okay, so you can see here, let's say these are the orbitals of A atom and these are the orbital of B atom. Okay, so s orbital, 1s orbital of A atom combines with 1s orbital of B atom. So what it going to form? It form a sigma 1s molecular orbital. But here there is a addition of two orbital takes place. If 1s orbital of A atom subtract with 1s orbital of B atom, there is formation of sigma star 1s molecular orbital. It is denoted as sigma star u. Similarly, 2sa plus 2sb, there is formation of sigma 2s, denoted as sigma g, or 2sa minus 2sb, there is formation of sigma star 2s or sigma star u. Then 2pz orbital of A atom combines with 2pz orbital of B atom, there is formation of sigma 2pz called as sigma g. If they are subtracted, there is formation of sigma star 2pz. Similarly, for px and p orbital, combinations are given in table. Everybody understood how molecular orbital formed from the atomic orbitals. Now, in yesterday's video lectures, I told you that molecular orbitals are classified as sigma, pi, delta according to their rotational symmetry around their internuclear axis. So likewise, we saw atomic orbitals are classified as s, p, d depending upon the last electrons entrance into the orbital. So here sigma g, that is for 1s orbital, means axial overlap of two atomic orbital resulting in bonding MO with even symmetry. The energy levels of these molecular orbitals are given in molecular orbital diagram. In MO diagram, the MOs are formed by 1s atomic orbital have lowest energy, that is bonding sigma 1s and then antibonding sigma star 1s. Similarly, for 2s orbital, there is formation of sigma 2s and sigma star 2s atomic antibonding molecular orbital. But for p orbital, there is a slight different concept, that as per modern concept, z axis has been taken as a molecular axis, and therefore p orbital can be, as we know that p orbital having three different types, so px, py, pz. So pz P off along the molecular axis, while Px and Py they are in between the axis. Now p orbital can form sigma bonds from the frontal overlap of pz orbital to form a sigma to pz orbital as well as sigma star to pz molecular orbital, whereas px and py orbital overlap laterally to form the pi bond. But this overlap is weaker as compared to the sigma bond formation overlap, and so we know that sigma bond is very stronger than the pi bond. Why? Because sigma bond is formed by axial overlapping. So in axial overlapping, what happened? There is a maximum overlap of atomic orbital takes place. Same case is not found in a pi bond formation, and that's why it is a weaker bond. To understand the molecular orbital diagram, this diagram is very important. Student, keep this diagram in your mind, that, and also pay your attention here. That is because it is very important to understand. Without understanding the molecular orbital diagram, you will not able to understand this chapter. As I said, this chapter you had already learned in the SYBSc for simple atomic molecule, but when you went to a higher education like post graduations, again there will be the MOT diagram for the different molecules, and that's why it is very important to understand. Now in this diagram you can see that when you plot a graph of energy versus atomic orbital and molecular orbital, so you can observe that in two sides, extreme left and extreme right side of the diagram, there will be the orbital called as atomic orbital, while the orbital which is shown in at the center is called are called as a molecular orbitals. Okay, so let's say I have an atom which is of 1s, 2s and 2p type of atomic orbital. So if I have a same type of atom and they form the molecule, for example N2, there will be two nitrogen atom combines to form two molecule, N2 molecule, C2 molecule, B2 molecule, F2 molecule and so on. So there what happened actually, the energies of the atomic orbital remain same for both the atoms. So that's why here energies of atomic orbital of both atoms remains same, that is 1s of first atom and 1s of second atom both having the same energy. Okay, I will show you. Let's say this is the atomic orbital of first atom and these are the atomic orbitals of second atom. Okay, now both having same energy. You can see 1s orbital of first atom, I have 1s orbital of second atom, both having same energy. Similarly for 2s orbital, energy remains constant. 2p also energy remains constant. So as I said, during the formation of molecular orbital, what you have to keep in mind, that whatever the atomic orbital overlap, same number of molecular orbital will get formed. For example, two 1s orbital, one of first atom and another one is of second atom, when they combines, look at this, when they combines they form two molecular orbital, one is sigma 1s, another is a sigma star 1s. So apart from sigma 1s and sigma star 1s, the energy of sigma 1s will be lower as compared to the energy of sigma star 1s. So this energy is lower not only for not only remains different with respect to 2, but it is also different with respect to their atomic orbital. So energy of 1s orbital is lower than even the energies of atomic orbital. That's why this sigma 1s orbital is more stable than the, because it is a molecular orbital. Molecular orbitals are more stable than atomic orbital. So once these two atomic orbital combines, they form the two molecular orbital. First molecular orbital is sigma 1s and second molecular orbital is sigma star 1s. Similarly, 2s orbital of first atom combines with 2s orbital of second atom. Again, they have both having same energy and they form two molecular orbital. One is sigma 2s, another is a sigma star 2s. Okay. Now, if you saw the sigma 2pz orbitals, that means when one 2p orbital combines with another 2p orbital, what happened there? When they combine, so for one atom 3 2p orbital combines with another. So 3p orbital of first atom combines with another 3 atomic orbitals of second atom. So total how many orbitals combines? So 6 orbitals combines, right? So 6 orbitals combines. Out of 6 orbitals, 6 molecular orbitals are formed. Okay, again I will repeat. So 3p orbital of first atom combines with another 3p atomic orbital of another atom. So total 6 atomic orbital of both atom combines. So there will be formation of 6 molecular orbital. Out of 6 molecular orbitals, 3 remains bonding molecular orbital and hence their energy is lowered, while 3 molecular orbitals are having higher energy and therefore they are written in the higher level. So sigma 2pz, pi 2px and pi 2py, these are the bonding molecular orbital which having lower in energy, while sigma 2 you can see here sigma 2pz, pi 2px and pi 2py having lower energy as compared to antibonding molecular orbital or their atomic orbitals, and pi 2px, pi 2py, pi star 2px, pi star 2py and sigma star 2pz, these orbital having higher energy called as antibonding molecular orbital. So here remember that sigma 2pz orbital having lower energy as compared to pi 2px and pi 2py because of, again it is this molecular orbital is formed by axial overlap and hence its energy is lower as compared to the remaining two, pi 2px and pi 2py. Okay, so if you arrange all these molecular orbital with increasing energy, and then we will get what this kind of pictorial form or this kind of diagram, schematic representation. In this diagram you can observe in detail that all orbitals are arranged with increasing energy. Sigma 1 is having very lowest energy and that's why it is very high stable, while sigma star 2pz orbital having the highest energy and that's why they are written at the top in the MO diagram. Everybody understood? Now if you see the relative strength of relative order of energy of these molecular orbital is written as, for lowest sigma 1s, then sigma 1s is lower than energy of sigma 1s is lower than energy of sigma star 1s, then sigma 2s, then sigma star 2s, then sigma 2pz, then 2p pi 2px. But remember here pi 2px and pi 2py both having same energy, because they formed by same manner. Again, which is having lower energy as compared to pi star to px, that means their antibody molecular orbital pi star to py, and the energy which highest energy will we have, that is sigma star to pz orbital. So on this way we can arrange all the molecular orbitals with their increasing energy in the MO diagram. So this diagram is called as a MO diagram for the general MO diagram for the homodinuclear or homonuclear atomic molecules. Little bit same type of diagram you can observe for heteronuclear atomic molecules, only there is slight change in the energies of the orbitals. Okay, so up to that point we will solve MO diagram. Now we will stop here. In next video lectures we will study the application of this MO diagram for the different molecules. From this today's video lectures, I request all the students to go these video lectures and try to draw this diagram in the notebook with full of explanation, because this diagram and is very explanatory. With the help of this diagram you can understand the MOT of different molecules, that is molecular orbital theory of C2, B2, N2, NO, CO, HCl, and some polyatomic species also. Yes. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you.